Well, it's February 28th, 2012. This is Reality Supreme Being on the Air, also known as HRM, Caesar St. Augustine Day of Buena Parte. It's going to be cold for the next 3 days. That's why I'm dressed the way I'm dressed. Lo and behold, after 3 months, I'm at a computer place where I actually played back the audio and hearing, and it played back the way it should. I could hear it, and it recorded me, and I could hear it back as well. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. Something new. Obviously, no candidate has answered me, and they probably won't. I'll continue challenging them. I'm positive that not one of the more than 300 candidates, especially the big guys that are hogging all the news media, they won't, or I should say the mainstream candidates, they won't, which is not equal publicity, but they won't answer any of my, I'm sure the political advisors will tell me, no, you cannot debate this guy because this guy's nuts, or they'll come up with whatever excuse they have. That I'm sure they even ask the candidates to view some of my videos. The candidates don't have even a clue that 90% of those videos is ranting and raving, and it's done on purpose, because in between the rants and raves are the actual Reality Supreme Beings gifts of ultra intelligence that is beyond their imagination. I don't think that they have an advisor, including Obama, advisors that could ever match what I know. And they don't. Just like most people don't know the DNA of each human being is 55 billion, 800 million miles long. And that each slice of DNA and amino acid at the atomic level does carry signatures, messages. And the whole human race will never be able to chronicle and map every single bit message, whether it's a gigabyte or a megabyte, in comparative example to what electronics is, in information. They just won't. It's like that little creature on Jurassic Park who says, you could look at screens like these barcodes of DNA for 2 years, every second of some barcode flashing in the screen in front of you, 8 hours a day, take you 2 years just to flash look at all the barcode DNA in one of your 100 trillion strands of DNA. So, I mean, in one cell, there are more atoms in one cell than there are comparatively stars in the Milky Way galaxy. So here I am only 3 minutes into the video, trying to get as much as I can get down because these computers are slow now, Google, and I'm sure it's a plot, it's a virus plot, it's a plot by the government to keep people, to make them wait. And while the person is waiting for such a long time on Google, the hackers working for the government who don't want the masses to hear what I'm really saying, okay, because I'm actually teaching the masses of how to think and where to think. Let me give you a long line of something that their advisors will know that I'm not the dummy here. They are. Now you figure this out. Here's what it says. Nobody knows what I know in an awareness level of true DNA unified philosophical conversion. They do not know that equals unified field theory. That's what it used to be known as. It is now known in my awareness category as unified field string reality. That's why I call myself Reality Supreme Being. All of my research in the past, which has been secret, has uncovered stuff that you would not believe. And most people will call me crazy if I tell you there are water beings in the water that you drink, and that it actually controls the mechanisms of memory and of cause and effect in the human species. You wouldn't believe me. Well, go to 99th Monkey Philosophy and check that out. Anyway, unified field string theory is no longer a theory in my awareness and how I exist in awareness of what my mind has become aware of through my research. It is now a unified field string reality. And that equals the unified field theory, which is no longer a theory in my book. I found the answer. Unified field reality. Now, it's all based on atoms of vibrations and harmonic convergence. That means similarities in vibrational frequencies of all the atoms. I said this before. Oxygen vibrates at something like 47 million megahertz, and all of the 6 elements that need to exist in our bodies in order to exist, besides water, is sponge, S-P-O-N-C-H. Sulfur, potassium, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and hydrogen. The other elements are of minor category, but those 6 create an orchestra of different vibrational frequencies that are vibrating at millions of megahertz, and each one has a different percentage, oxygen being the most at 6%. So those frequency changes and percentages change throughout our whole lives, which might explain why the human race has such trouble being able to stay online and not have all these wars and killing and divorce and all the negative that we call negativity. But it isn't negativity. It's inability to be aware of the truth. And I am the truth. Trust me. And I'm dying. So I'm not going to tell everybody all the truth, because I'm going to die with it and let you people suffer for another 1,000 years before another person is born like me in the right, remember what I said, DNA shuffle? Everybody's born with a card deck, and those DNA, each card represents a different shuffle in the DNA, and each one of us are peculiar and totally unique in the shuffle that's born out of a woman when we're born, men and women. Which is why you shouldn't be killing, because you have no guarantee who's going to be the next Einstein or the next person who's going to make the great discoveries. Okay? So, I keep looking at the clock at 7 minutes because this is going to take a long time to load up. Probably something like a half an hour, which is really sad. Anyway, so my other videos are not looked at very often because nobody knows about me, because the media has me backed up into a corner of total controlled publicity awareness. And anyone that does listen to my videos is going to have to listen to every last one of them. Whether I repeat myself or not, doesn't matter. Because these people are totally evil. The control freaks that are running things are totally, absolutely evil. What makes them evil is their inability to have the same awareness level that I have, that I possess, totally and absolutely. Now, there are other people, I'm not the only one, there are a lot of people on the planet that are like me, but they're control freaks that don't know what the hell they're doing, and the proof is in their results. Everywhere you see why there's crime, why there's death and destruction, why they can't seem to get a handle on it, because they don't know what they're doing. Come on, 2,000 years of first starting out writing your hunting sequences on cave walls, and now in the last 10,000 years, 7,000, more than 7,000 years of it, war in bits and pieces all over the world, and the whole human race in 28,000 years can only account for less than 300 years of peace worldwide in bits and pieces? No, that's a very bad rap sheet. So that's why people like us are born. We catch up, we progress, we evolve, we get more information. The more information we get, the more we're able to put that giant DNA puzzle together. I call it the awareness puzzle. And that's what made Christ so unique, Buddha, Moses, all these so-called philosophers that were different. So I could go on with a huge seminar and probably educate, like I said, a whole troop of people, like on Dodger Stadium or some big audience, and they'd all leave that place, hundreds of thousands of people leaving the place, at least 50,000 people leaving with a total awareness level of something they have never expected in their whole lives. And that's what the government's scared of, because once you educate all of the people and the stuff that I know, that's when governments will topple. All of them. It doesn't matter what they stand for, what they allege to represent, because the United States is not and does not represent life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It represents hypocrisy, conspiracy, it represents money, it represents greed, and money is the root of all evil when it's used for the wrong purposes. And these people are all egomaniacs, control freaks. So instead of educating the public equally by supporting people like me, they want to drown me out, see? So you go ahead. You continue that course you're on. You will find out in the end if any of these recordings survive. And I expect that the government in a year or two after I die, I'm sure that they will hack or these videos will disappear because they don't want you to know what I know. They don't want me to teach you what you should be being taught. And they're to have no capacity to pass that on to you. They want it first so they can use it to manipulate you. Remember when I said that you're all child killers, you all pay taxes? They're afraid of people like me. Look at the gas prices. Over $4? You should be just boycotting the gas company, boycotting the newspapers, the TVs, and say, we're not just boycotting you because of the gas. We're boycotting you because of unequal airtime for presidential candidates or people who want to be above the President of the United States. Because that job is absolutely fruitless. It's absolutely useless. So as far as the United States is concerned, you need to create a new office and new people, like a pro-council, 3 people. And then below that, maybe a president and a vice president, maybe a Congress, but a Congress that has been taught by me the full spectrum of awareness, because they don't have it, trust me. So, of course, you have to have sequential order programmers, I call them SOP, S-O-P, because without them, you can't integrate all of the things that are necessary to integrate into any political system or government that will work with ease and smoothness, not like the one that we or any of the world's governments have right now. They're out of control, and they have no guide and no idea of what to do. So, my advice to the people of the United States and the media is you just turn around and stop giving attention to Romney and Gingrich, and it doesn't matter, and Obama and the congressional representatives and the Senate and the state legislatures and the mayors and the governors, because they don't know what they're doing. They're half-ass representatives, and you don't want that. And I have all the answers of how to change it. Within a year, everyone in the world will be adopting my Code Napoleon. That's what they did with Napoleon. They didn't like him, but they liked his codes, which are still in use in some places in Louisiana. So you figure this out. How can a code like that from the 1700s last for so long? There are people that are born, like I said, that card shuffle is special. And they possess certain unique capabilities that give them the gift and the capability to put that jigsaw puzzle together, the right awareness puzzle together, and to pass it on. But it can't be passed on suppressing a person from the media, from awareness. And that's what's going on with me. I mean, here I am, a person's dying of dental sepsis. By the way, death starts at the atomic level, at the level of atoms. 56% of our body is primarily supposed to be oxygen. You got to keep those levels going all your life during that 56% period, plus or minus 10%. But in order, only people though with quantum physics, who've taken courses in quantum physics, would really understand where I'm coming from and what I'm talking about. It's up to you. You people have a choice. You can either continue to ignore me, which is a form of violation of freedom of information. Freedom of information to pass on the right information to people that would do more benefit than harm. And you're doing me harm every day that goes by. Every last one of you in this country, especially the crappy controlled media. Talk to you later.